Firstly, my infinite prostrations to our most beloved Holy Trinity, Sri Ramakrishna, Sri Sri Sharda Devi, our Holy Mother, and Swami Vivekananda in particular, on the occasion of his 150th birth anniversary celebrations. My respectful pranams also to revered Swami Gautamananji Maharaj, Adhyaksh Ramakrishna Mat Chennai, Swami Shivamayananji, Swami Atmavidananji, and to all the other venerable Swamis present here. My love and respects also to all my fellow devotees and volunteers. My topic for today is Atmano Mokshartham Jagadhitayacha, which is the motto and twin ideal of the Ramakrishna Mat and Ramakrishna Mission. As enunciated by Swami Vivekananda himself, it means for one's own liberation and for the welfare of the world. Well now, how does one attain liberation, or how does one realize God? Swami Vivekananda has stated that all the four yogas, Bhakti Yoga, Jnana Yoga, Karma Yoga and Raja Yoga, are independent means to mukti, the final goal of human life. However, the ideal means would be a synthesis of all four. This was exemplified by Swamiji in his own life. He himself was a thoroughly all-rounded personality. Swamiji's masterly expositions on each of these four yogas show how one can attain liberation by pursuing any of these paths. Since time immemorial, our saints and sages have passed on to us some very important moral values. Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, that is, the whole world is one family, and Bahujana Hitaya, Bahujana Sukhaya, that is, for the good of many, for the happiness of many, implying that all our actions should be directed to the benefit and well-being of others. In the context of our Mat and Mission, this idea of working for the welfare of the world is essentially founded on Sri Ramakrishna's inspired utterance, Shiva Jnane Jiva Seva, meaning the service of all beings, looking upon them as God. But it was left to Swami Vivekananda's genius to give practical orientation to this noble doctrine. Therefore, doing good to the world, Swamiji explains, means serving the jivas, the people, with the notion that we are serving God himself, particularly the poor, the illiterate, the ignorant, the afflicted, and this is what he used to term as the worship of the Virat. Now, how exactly does one go about rendering service? Swami Vivekananda has enjoined on us three levels of service to one's fellow beings, namely Annadana, Vidyadana and Jnanadana. Annadana. Swamiji believed that religion cannot be taught on an empty stomach. He says, first bread and then religion. Broadly, Annadana can be classified as physical service and would cover activities to ameliorate the conditions of our fellow beings by helping them with food, medicines, and also providing facilities such as hospitals, orphanages, old age homes, etc. But Swamiji does not stop here. According to him, next comes Vidyadana, which is greater than Annadana and can be classified as mental and intellectual service. Help provided by way of education through schools, colleges and the like would fall under this head. Swamiji says, all the wealth of the world cannot help one little Indian village if the people are not taught to help themselves. Our work should be mainly educational, both moral and intellectual. Finally comes Jnanadana, which is the greatest of the danas and can be categorized as spiritual service. It involves imparting spiritual knowledge which brings to man eternal life and takes him across the ocean of samsara or transmigratory existence. Swamiji says, wisdom, that is jnana, is the goal of all life, and it is spiritual knowledge which confers on us the highest wisdom leading to everlasting bliss. Let's take an example. Let's say there's a poor boy in our locality. We give him free food, annadana, for 1 month, 2 months, maybe an entire year. But what happens after that? It is back to square one. The boy has to again go hungry. The benefit has been very temporary. Better still is to give him vidyadana, the gift of knowledge, by educating him to be a doctor, engineer, or any other vocation for that matter. Now he is able to stand on his own feet and provide for both himself and his family all through his life. But there it ends. The best would be therefore to also give him Jnanadana, the gift of spiritual knowledge which eventually leads the boy to salvation. The harmonization and synthesis of all the three is the aim of our institution. Hence, in line with Swamiji's thinking of Jagatitaya, our mission conducts programs and activities of mass upliftment such as rural development, tribal development, education for the masses, medical services, relief work, spiritual and cultural services, which envelop all the three dhanas. And we, as volunteers and devotees, have a major role to play in these activities, in this religion of service. We should, however, note that in trying to help the world, we are actually only helping ourselves by sublimating our ego and eliminating our vices, thus becoming pure and perfect. So now, how can we change our outlook when we perform these acts of service as also do our work? Because, as Swamiji says, it is ultimately our attitude which counts. In this regard also, there is a three-step formula: work and worship, work as worship, and work is worship. When one embarks on one's spiritual journey, one might perform one's worship with due diligence, but when it comes to work, might look upon it as sheer drudgery and thus do it a disservice. Consequently, he does not enjoy the work but does it all the same for the sake of mere form or requirement. But gradually, when he changes his attitude and starts looking upon work as worship, the nature of the work is transformed. Now there is a world of difference in the quality of his work, lending it a special charm and grace. Besides, he derives immense joy from his work. Finally, when through repeated practice he is able to establish himself in that state of mind, then he finds that there is absolutely no difference between the two. Work is worship, work has become worship. Indeed, in this stage we find the fulfillment of Swamiji's words: no work is secular, all work is adoration and worship. Thus he, the spiritual aspirant, has reached the culmination of Karma Yoga, which in its wake bestows on him perfection or liberation. So, as is evident, Swamiji has formulated a grand motto which encapsulates profound and lofty twin ideals. The motto serves a dual purpose. Not only does it urge one to strive for one's own liberation, but it also impels one to contribute to the welfare of the whole world, which in itself can also lead one to liberation. Moreover, the sublimity of its message makes it a universal motto applicable to all people everywhere. Before I conclude, I invoke Swamiji's blessings on this auspicious occasion. May he inspire us all to move forward on the path shown by him, so that we may arise awake and stop not till the goal is reached. Thank you all.